We're excited to welcome into this week's episode of the Hog Talk, former Arkansas pitcher and new to the quarterback room, Austin Ledbetter. So we'll start with you. How are you? How was your Christmas and your holidays?
It's been great. I just got back from my grandparents' house. We had Christmas down there, and we're actually heading back up to Fayetteville in 2 days to have Christmas with the other side of the family. So it's been good. Blessed. It's been really good. So
That's awesome, man. Glad to hear it. It's the best time of the year, in my opinion. But
absolutely, absolutely. Get a break from school and everything. So
yes, sir. Kind of forget some of the stress for a while.
yeah.
Well, hey, we're going to take a little walk down memory lane here and bump you back into the high school days. So you went back to back undefeated seasons with Bryant that ended in state championship. So I'm sure that's awesome memories right there. So kind of going back to that, what was your recruiting process like in high school? Were you recruited for football? Was it all baseball? And kind of what made your decision to pursue baseball to begin with?
So I'm gonna move it back even a little further. So ninth grade, baseball has pretty much been my thing my whole life until I got to high school. But see, ninth grade, my football team we went undefeated, all that. Spring came around. I went to a Arkansas baseball camp, the winter going into my baseball season spring, and they were really interested in me. They talked to me after. They're really impressed in what I did at the camp, and they said they were going to keep in touch with me. So I think it was middle of the season. I was starting shortstop and I was pitching for my high school team as a freshman. So they called me and they offered me, and I committed on the spot. Like that's where I wanted to go as a freshman in high school. Like you don't really see that much. So I told them I was coming. I was all in, and so then going into high school, we won state my sophomore year. I came in every game in the second quarter of the past 5 games. So it was from like senior night to then the state championship game. And we won all 5 of those games. And then after that, I started getting a lot of interest from like Mississippi State, other bigger schools like that. They were coming into the school. They weren't offering me, but they were like, hey, like, we're really interested in you. We're going to keep talking to you, all this stuff. And then they kept asking me about baseball. And I was like, yeah, I want to try to play both, all that. And I think it kind of scared off those bigger schools because they didn't want me to, play baseball and football. They wanted the quarterback to just focus on football. So I kind of just, kept playing junior year, undefeated, broke records, all that. Senior year, same thing. But yeah, I had a lot of schools, really interested in me. Arkansas State sent me like those little graphics that people get all the time. Division II schools were like all in case I did want to just switch from football. They just went ahead and offered me. But the D1 schools were really, pushed back, and they didn't really want to, give up a scholarship opportunity, I guess, if I'm committed for baseball. So, I understand the whole process. So, my high school coach told me that like if you don't decommit, like you probably won't get these offers. So, and I didn't want to decommit from Arkansas because that's where I wanted to go. So, and I still wanted to, push for football. And I know I think my senior year they had like six, 7 quarterbacks. They had Jerry Jones's son. I think they had a couple of KJ, Felipe Franks, all those guys. So it was a busy quarterback room. So I just stuck with baseball and just grinded it out. And I'm happy where I'm at with baseball. The fall it went fine. I got hurt a little. I hurt my wrist, but I pitched in Omaha my freshman year. Not a lot of guys get to do that, and that was exciting. It was one of the best experiences of my life. And then this past year, I was part of an SEC championship through like 33 innings, and I was a part of that, and it was awesome. So,
Yeah, that is pretty cool to hear. Kind of talking about that dual sport thing. Did you ever kind of talk to your teammate Connor Nolan? Did you ever get a chance to talk to him about because he came in and tried to do that as well? So, kind of any insight from him?
me and Connor actually got pretty close, I guess, my freshman year, and we didn't really talk about football that much. We joked about it sometimes. They would ask who's better, me or Connor. And we just kind of joke about that, but no, we never really talked about it. He was in the Chad Morris era, so I'm not going to comment too much on that one.
Bad memories.
Yeah,
A lot of bad memories.
yeah.
Um, well, that kind of transitions us in, you played football in high school, then played baseball these past 2 years for the U of A. So did you kind of decide that you wanted to transition to football and you made phone calls, or did Pittman or Petrino reach out to you, knew who you were on the baseball team, and thought there was some need to try to get you over? Or how did that conversation go, and kind of who started that conversation?
Well, the talk, I mean, Coach Pittman knew who I was in high school because there was talk about me going on and possibly walking on after my senior year, but I just wanted to stick with baseball at the time. They gave me a good, number to sign with, so I was content with that. And I had two cousins on staff, so I was like, why not go, play baseball and hang out with family and get that experience. And no, the whole process started. It was me and my dad have been talking about it for a while, even this summer. He is very high on me with football. He loved watching me play in high school. So, he wasn't pushing me, but like he was always hinting like, I think this is your calling. So I was like, finally, I contacted my high school coaches who have a lot of contacts with, Arkansas staff. And Coach Woodson actually came to the school, met with him. He was the defensive coordinator when I was in high school, but he's the head coach now, Coach Sanders. Talked to him while he was recruiting somebody else about me, and spoke very highly of me, and showed him film stats, all that stuff. And he was very impressed. And so he brought the information back to Coach Pittman. And I didn't hear from for about a couple of weeks, but when Petrino and him were out recruiting and came back to Bryant, they did this exact same thing. But I wasn't there this time. I actually met Coach Woodson there at Bryant, but I wasn't there this time. So they told him that like I was 100% in for football. I wanted to do it, wanted to pursue it. And probably 5 minutes later, they gave me the phone call and offered me a spot. So,
Yeah, that's really cool. So, was it exciting to, kind of once you were thinking about doing that, hearing that Petrino was coming back, with his type of pro style offense, is that, kind of work with kind of what you did in high school and very comfortable with that style of offense?
yeah, 100%. I mean, the offense we ran in high school was kind of RPO and like spread it out a little bit, but just throwing around the field, uh, you know, reading the coverages and all that. Like it's all, it's football. I feel like my knowledge of football is going to get me a lot because I can learn an offense super fast. Like, I mean, I really didn't learn an offense in ninth grade, and when I got, to high school in 10th grade, I feel like I've been doing it for 4 or 5 years. So it's pretty easy to learn. I'm, anxious to go up there and learn his terminology and what he wants to accomplish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's exciting, man. We had a previous interview with Javante Herndon, one of the old wide receivers under Petrino back in the day, and he said to send guys his way. So if you need a hook up on somebody, I can give you a few early pointers on the lingo that Petrino uses. We'll hook you up there. But one thing real quick. So obviously you've had some conversations with Petrino Pittman, I'm sure. But then what were you, what's it been like playing for Coach Van Horn? And then what did you tell him, that, hey, I think I've done what I want to do here. I'm going to go over to the gridiron now, kind of thing. What was that conversation like?
It's been great playing for him. For one, I mean, he's a great coach. He's a legend. He knows stuff. He knows how to get guys ready, and he knows how to win. And I mean, the conversation was, it was pretty easy. I straight up told him, I was like, this is something I want to pursue. It's kind of been on my heart for a while. I've been praying about it for a while. And I told him like what I want in the future and my plans. And so when I said that, he was, really excited for me, and he was excited that I knew what I wanted to do and what I wanted to pursue. So, college kids, you never know what they want to do. So I'm glad I have a plan. He was glad I have a plan, and Coach Hobbs was in there too, and he was super, happy for me. He was like, "You need to go out there right now and start throwing and lifting," and I was like, "Yeah, I've been doing that for a couple months already." I kind of kept it on the low. I didn't really tell anybody, so I was kind of doing it on my own. But yeah, they were excited for me. DVH is actually in the meeting. He's trying to give me like an extra year. So like if football didn't work out in 2 years, I'll have an extra spring to come back and throw. I don't know how all that works, but that's what he told me. But he was excited for me.
Hey, we'll keep them fingers crossed for that, man. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah, so kind of following up that, so how do you feel like you can take kind of what you learned from Coach Van Horn and apply it as you get back on the football field and start? Spring is almost here. You're gonna have January coming in. You're starting to kind of get with the team, and like you said, learn that lingo and that offense that Petrino has. How do you think you can take some of those things that you learned from Coach Van Horn and apply it as you kind of get back familiar with the football field and things of that nature?
Definitely just bringing that hard work mentality every single day and that winning mentality. I mean, when it comes to mentality in baseball and football, it's all the same. Just holding people accountable, getting to know your teammates, trusting people. I mean, being a pitcher and being a quarterback is almost the same. Like, you got to trust your catcher that he's going to call the right pitch, do all that. You got to trust your receivers to run the right route at the right time. So, yeah, I mean, just bringing that mentality to, work hard, hold people accountable, be a great teammate, all that.
I think that's something we can all kind of get behind here for sure. We've I think Arkansas as a state kind of identifies as kind of a blue collar state. Everybody rallies behind the Hogs, and that's kind of the mentality everybody wants the teams to have. So that's very, very true there. Kind of lastly here, what's one of the things you're looking forward to the most about transitioning to the football program? Anything you're excited for the most, just to play in the SEC or in the stadium, things of that nature?
Yeah, I mean, playing in the SEC is going to be great, but just learning my teammates, making new friends, bringing a bond over there, and getting to know those guys and going out there and just working with a new brotherhood. I mean, there's going to be a lot more football players than there are baseball players in the locker room, so there's going to be a lot more people to learn, a lot more people to interact with, and I'm super excited about that. I'm ready to go to work. I'm ready to learn from Coach Petrino, and I'm ready to go out there and sling it.
Well, that's awesome to hear. We're excited to see what spring holds. It's kind of a unknown, if you will, with KJ moving on, so it's kind of into that next era, if you will. He's been here for so many years, so now it's kind of ready for a new fresh face. So,
Right.
best of luck to you, as you go in and transition over. We're excited to see, with this Petrino hire and kind of get a reset after, season didn't go how, anybody thought it would. I mean, Pittman even admitted that, and sometimes that happens, but I think it's going to be an exciting offseason, a lot of hard work. Like you said, we've talked to a few guys that have that same mentality of as just ready, want to go in and get to work and learning the new offense and getting ready to go. And so, we appreciate you taking the time to hop on with us, over the holidays before you get ready to head back to school. Anything else you got, Seth?
No, like you said, we really appreciate you coming on the show, man. I know you guys have a lot of competition coming up. I'm in that quarterback room trying to figure out kind of who's going to be your 1, 2, 3 guys. I mean, there's a lot of fresh faces up there with Taylor Green coming in and a couple of returnees. And with the way the transfer portal is nowadays, there might be some more guys that hit the road before you even get there too. So wish you nothing but the best. Hope you can navigate that turmoil and everything and get out there, compete, and win it over, man. Really appreciate you coming on.
Yes, absolutely. I appreciate you guys.
Have a good rest of your holiday season, okay, man?
Y'all too. Appreciate y'all.